Hello and welcome to this ETSI webinar. My name is Nathalie Guinet. I'm working in the ETSI events team. And today I'm pleased to welcome Ricard Vilalta and Lluis Gifre from ETSI. They will present the overview of the fourth release of the SDN, TerraFlow SDN, sorry. This webinar will last an hour and we will end with a few moments for question and answer. You can type in your question by clicking on the question mark button on the right-hand side of your screen. And now I leave the floor to Ricard with his presentation.
Thanks a lot, Natalie. That was very kind from you. Today, thanks for joining us and listening to this webinar. We are very happy to present you this Release 4 overview. And we thought it was the best title for it was using TerraFlow SDN as a network automation and security framework. We think that we have been a long road with TerraFlow SDN, but in this new release, we have plenty of new features which we would like to talk about, and we would like also to hear your opinion. So we have prepared this webinar with the following agenda. So we first will start for the new babies, for newcomers, just to remind what are SDN controllers and why TerraFlow is not yet another SDN controller. We then go through the TerraFlow Release 4 features and use cases. I would also like to do a sneak peek of just a teaser of what will the new features for Release 5 and the vision for TerraFlow SDN. And then we will go more deeper into the release, and we will see the new features in place and how to use them in a demo. So I hope that you enjoy this next hour. Please ask as many questions as you wish using the chat, and we will try to answer during the Q&A session. So let's start with what are new SDN controllers. And of course, the justification is that there is a need for operators to have a network automation framework. Network operations need automations, not only to reduce their OPEX, but also they need automation to improve their networks, the resiliency of the networks. This means automation means softwareization. If you need to do something automatic, you need to have programmability of your network, and this ends up with tons of software. Then networks are complex, so you need to handle multiple equipments and domains, and you don't want to be tied to specific domain solutions to automate the network. So what we have and what we are presenting is the Release 4 of TerraFlow SDN, which is a cloud-native SDN controller. We are an open source community inside ETSI, and we are enabling smart connectivity services for the future networks. And that's our main purpose, just to let you know. This is the architecture for our Release 4. So you have seen quite a new novelties, I guess, from if you were in Release 3. What you will see, you have noticed is that we have different databases. We have one for the service mesh between the different microservices in our cloud-native architecture. You already might have heard about it. That's what we already had in place. And you will see in purple the new database that we're presenting in this architecture. We have introduced it in order to have more optimization and efficiency in our monitoring and telemetrical platform. So you will see, and later Luis will talk a little bit more about it. We have re-engineered a lot all what had to do with monitoring and telemetry, and how you process the data and how this data was consumed inside our controller. And that's why we have introduced this new database. That's something that will stay in the architecture and will enables us to be more flexible and more scalable. Also, you will see that as a new contributor, we see integration with OpenSlice. I have some slides later on with this about this. So I hope that you also enjoy this new feature. And you see a lot of new old friends, but also new friends as microservices. So you see a slicing microservice, you see KPI manager, you see QKD, but we have introduced some new of them. Some of them have been completely renewed. For example, the LT Gateway is now fully compatible with Hyperledger Fabric, which is something very interesting for those of you who like to play with blockchain. Also, you see that we also incorporate several MBIs. We have more focus on layer 3, layer 2 VPNs. We have also stabilized the slice young draft from IETF, and we are also promoting ETSI bandwidth management from the ETSI MEC group. And finally, we present what is called the TFS API. That's our internal API that we are exposing it, just in case anyone needs it. And there are some different content that there is not a standard way of offering it. So we offer it through this API. But we don't want it to be standard. We want to align as many standards as possible with Teraflow SDN, as you know. This is just for internal purposes and for validation purposes. And as outbound interfaces, you also see new things down there. The most important one, the CNMI OpenConfig driver. That's very interesting, and I hope that you also experiment with it. So it is already available, so please download it. During this webinar, you will have more links and more places where you can have information about this new release. This is a slide. People ask me typically, how is Teraflow SDN related with other ETSI initiative? I tried to summarize this in this slide. Imagine that we are now right here. We are in the Teraflow SDN end-to-end SDN controller. That's our end-to-end instantiation of Teraflow SDN. You know it can act as a parent and or as a child. If you use it as a child, you can have it handling different network domains, for example, IP domain or optical domain, but also you can use it as a parent for the end-to-end control and management. This is related, also can be related and can be accessed from OpenSlice and open source manual. So this is how we can easily relate between the different options of ETSI SDGs. Who are we? So this is not an academic project. This is led by industry. We have in our leadership two big operators such as Telefónica and Telenor. We have in our technical steering committee Telefónica, UBTech, Atruan, and Chalmers University. And I have just organized members and participants between industry and academia. So you can see that Teraflow SDN is mainly driven by operator interest and contributed mainly by industry. Also, we like a lot to collaborate with other communities. So we are collaborating within ETSI with the different SDGs. So we have established a common channel to organize our work all together and to be able to find synergies between the different software pieces. That's one thing. We like also to collaborate with different standard defining organizations. You see ETSI MEC, ETSI Fix 5G, ETSI ZSM ISGs. These are our more natural way where we can have SDO discussions. At ETF, we are following TEAS and CICAM mainly from the old ONF, now Linux Foundation. We are following the Transport API and the P4 that work that was already performed. But this, as I'm saying, this is from the new Linux Foundation groups. Also, we are relating and we are in discussions with other industrial organizations such as Telecom Infra Project or OpenConfig. So we like to sense what's on our ecosystem and try to align Teraflow with what the different industrial bodies propose. Also, inside the SNS, the European Commission Smart Network and Services Joint Unit, we are having many contributions from different research projects. As you can see here, our ecosystem. Then we are also pending to incorporate new projects to the ecosystem. We hope that if you are running some demos with TerraFlow, or you are bringing new features to TerraFlow, please send us an email. You have all the details in the webpage of TerraFlow SDN ecosystem, so that we can also acknowledge your contributions and your interests. So please let us know. I think that's very valuable, because the SNS JU sees us as a common, as a nice place to contribute and to have synergies between different research projects. And now let's focus with the different features and use cases that we're proposing in Release 4. Let's start with some of the highlights. I don't want to enter into a lot of details, but I have tried to summarize the main topics and to give you some idea of what we have included in this new Release 4. For QKD, we are introducing a new QKD management interface. So let's say that we have used TerraFlow SDN code into transforming it into a QKD controller. That's something that Optare Solutions has been contributing, and they have already presented this in the SNS conference last month. I think that we have some demos on the website, so please make sure that if you are interested into this topic, this is a brand new topic, very aligned with future vision of security. Please check the demos. I think that it's a very nice contribution from Optare. I think that it provides a lot of value to TerraFlow SDN. As I'm saying, it's not about controlling everything, but just using TerraFlow SDN code as the basis for doing a QKD controller. I think that's the value of TerraFlow SDN, to be a network automation framework. So if you want to develop code for different network elements or network situations, use cases, the way is to consolidate it in TerraFlow SDN. Also, another nice feature that we have is end-to-end automation and monitoring. We are incorporating new components. We are incorporating KPI manager, telemetry, analytics, and we have re-engineered all the source code in monitoring to provide this view of network automation. So we wanted to have closed loops inside TerraFlow SDN, and this is our approach to them. So you will see that there are a lot of new features focused on this direction, so that we align better TerraFlow SDN as a ZSM tool. In fact, also aligned with this, we have had several proof of concepts, both in ZSM and fixed 5G ISGs inside ETSI, to demonstrate the value of TerraFlow SDN in those situations. Another of the things that we are providing in Release 4 is the support of logical inventory retrieval to obtain ACLs, for example, interfaces, routing policies via netconf openconfig. Also, we are offering the ITF inventory model, and we are also providing network slice integration for comprehensive network views. So many things from network management have landed in Release 4, more to come in Release 5. For the optical networks, if you are optical people, we have also included more stuff for having TerraFlow as your default optical SDN controller. So now we have in our optical network instantiation, you are able to manage the lifecycle of media channels with OpenConfig discovery and have efficiency topology synchronization with multiband slot representation. So that's our interest, that TerraFlow SDN becomes the de facto optical SDN controller. Of course, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We are already aware of all the work that the optical community did in ONOS. We are not trying to emulate and duplicate the efforts there, but any new novelty in opticals has its feature in Teraflow SDN. So that's what we are providing in this release. If you are more interested into security and blockchain, as I was mentioning before, we have upgraded the DLT gateway component to Hyperledger to high compatibility with Hyperledger Fabric 2.4 for blockchain operations, asset management, and Kubernetes deployment. So we have a full-featured network that can use the Hyperledger Fabric to negotiate and to also post all the different events of Teraflow SDN, also to write in the blockchain the topologies or even the requested services. So multi-domain scenarios can be easily handled using the DLT. Also, just for the record, some of the last additional enhancements, we have provided new novel interfaces for ACLs, US profile integration. Our intention is to support in the next release the quality on demand of Camara API, and we have also improved database handling for more efficient service management. We are always trying to incorporate new features that are not as nice as the ones that we have presented, but they are very aligned to improve the efficiency of Teraflow SDN. The interfaces supported are listed in this slide. I will not go into all the details. Some of them have been already explained, and some of them are new for this release. You can also have everything updated, up to date in the documentation pages of TFS. Also, I'd like to thank all the different research projects from the ecosystem of Teraflow SDN to contribute to Teraflow SDN and to also showcase Teraflow SDN, so we can see Teraflow SDN in such a large number of different use cases and situations. It's very good to discover at every conference new ways of using Teraflow SDN. So as part of Teraflow SDN leadership, we are very, very happy to see this and to see it growing, and that the community is adopting it and is making it its own. So you are more than welcome to submit ideas, to ask for help, and with the purpose of showcasing or even evolving Teraflow SDN for your needs. And these two slides are referring to the different iterations that we have performed. Just as a reminder, we have Teraflow SDN integrated with open source Mano. This is something that we have since release 2, I think, from Teraflow SDN. And in this new release, we are presenting the nice integration work that has been done in Across project, and also together with many different people from University of Patras, from UBTech, on the open source for Telco Cloud demonstration that we perform at SNS for SNS event, and where we showcase the integration of OSM, OSL, and TFS. So that was a very nice and unique piece of work. I think that this is very valuable for setting the foundations of future Telco Cloud projects. So just a couple of slides from myself to talk a little bit on the vision that we have for ETSI Teraflow SDN Release 5. So more things are on the way. They have not landed in this release, but I have seen some mature inventory management services. Also, I have seen some contributions on intent-based networking that make a lot of sense. We have seen that generative AI is exploding. So the introduction of generative AI inside Teraflow SDN is a matter of time, and we will see landing new features related to these topics. Also, network digital twin, how to handle network digital twins. The network digital twin manager component will land in Teraflow SDN. So if you are hearing this and you would like to know more, I recommend that you join the technical talks that we have every week, that you join our community, and you also try to contribute, because these features will be better when more people contribute to them. Also, I have seen some interesting work on energy optimization and also international data spaces gateway. So these are some of the things that I cannot promise, of course, but I have already seen some evolution, and I would like to learn in the next release and beyond. So this is how right now our architecture for release 5 looks like. So we are expanding the number of microservices with all these different new novelties that we have just discussed. So this is a more comprehensive list of all the key planned features. So if you go, I'm not saying any secrets. If you go to Teraflow SDN Git repository, you will find there a list of open issues, who's contributing to them, and you will see something similar to this list. Of course, I have polished it a little bit so it becomes clearer, but everything below this is a new feature, so with someone taking care of it and contributing. So this is, as you see, this is the web link for this. So many other things are on the way, just to encourage you to join our community, to join our weekly talks. And if you find that you have a nice feature that you would like to contribute, please let us know. And you know that we are very helpful and we like people to contribute, so we will try to ease a little bit this path. So I think that's all from my side. Just let me thank you for your attention today, and I will hand over to Lluis Gifre for the discovery of Teraflow SDN features, and also later I will join you again for the Q&A session. So thank you for this interest, and Lluis, now it's your turn.
Thank you very much. I'm sharing my screen because it will facilitate the second part of this webinar. Okay. So well, in this part, we will discover a bit more on the Teraflow features. Here, the first point that I want. Okay, here the first point that I want to highlight is that, as Ricard was pointing out, you can always refer to the tfs.etsi.org website, and there you can find all the information. This is our single point of entry, and you can find the requisites, guides, walkthroughs, tutorials, virtual machines for the events, pointers to the GitLab repository, also the contact details, and so on, and many more. In case you have some question at some point or you want to investigate a bit more, you can start over there. Another interesting point is that in this new release of Teraflow, we changed the documentation page. And thanks to this change, now we can benefit from having different versions of the documentation, because, you know, from version to version, the content of the documentation might change. So now you can browse the different documentation pages for the different versions. We incorporated also a search engine for browsing the documentation, which is always helpful to directly find your content of interest. And we try to facilitate the navigation with a new sidebar. So we hope this, well, you have the pointer here for the documentation, and we hope this will help you in enhancing or facilitating the utilization of Teraflow. More on documentation also, and on previous Hackfest. In each of the Hackfest, we try to provide some form of tutorial or some content that you can use to learn. So we are happy to say that you can use Teraflow Hackfest to learn on SDN in general. Here I'm covering or listing the list of Hackfests that we had in the past. I'm referring to them because in this webinar, in the demonstration part, we will be using some of the material that is presented in previous Hackfest. So we invite you to take a look on this Hackfest because we think they might be of your interest, especially for Hackfest 5, because this webinar demonstration will be mainly based on this container lab data plane in a box. Okay. Now going to the demonstration. If you want to run this demonstration, first of all, you can always do this. You just need to create a virtual machine following these specifications. You install MicroK8s version 1.29, and you can follow the deployment guide in order to end up with a running Teraflow environment for this. Otherwise, if you want to go the fast way, in the Teraflow Hackfest 5 wiki page, in the virtual machine section, you can download the pre-built and pre-installed virtual machine. Then in this demonstration, what we will be showcasing is an example of using Teraflow for creating a layer 3 VPN. Just in short, because this is elaborated in the Hackfest 5, a layer 3 VPN, essentially it's a way that enables a customer to connect different premises. So imagine that you have customer 1 site A, customer 1 site B, and then you have your provider's backbone network. Thanks to the layer 3 VPN, you can create a connection between the two sites in a way that from one side to the other, it's seamless, the connection. So it's like both of the sites are in the same network. And then the good point is that it enables also having multiple layer 3 VPNs for different customers running in parallel. So this is just to highlight how it, which is the target. How we will do that, because this can be kind of complex if you go into the deeper details. We will try to simplify in order to be easy for all of us to understand. We will have an emulated network by means of Container Lab composed of 2 routers. These routers will be connected back to back, and then next to each of the routers, we will have a Linux-based client that is connected. So the objective will be enabling to or bringing connectivity from one of the clients to the other. Okay, the clients will be pre-configured in the lab, so we will not go into the details for configuring this. It's assumed that the clients are have their own configurations, and we will go just on the configuration of the intermediate devices. The lab that we will use for this demonstration, it's this one. So you see, it's the one for Hackfest 5. Essentially, we define two types of devices. The routers, in this case, will be based on Arista CEO's network operating system, and the clients will be just normal Linux clients. We have here the list of the nodes, the 2 routers, and the 2 data centers. Well, these are the clients. We name them as data centers here. And in the link section, we provide the connectivity between the routers and between each of the data centers to the adjacent router. The first step will be to onboard the scenario. I will go first on the theoretical part on the TFS descriptors, then we will go to the actual demonstration. So you have for sure all the pointers here in these links. You can always check them. And what we will cover here is the creation of the context and the topology. Also the onboarding of how is the descriptor for onboarding the devices, and also for onboarding the links. Okay, we will skip the part of services and slices because this is also covered in other Hackfests. And in this case, we will use an IETF layer 3 VPN data model instead of the custom Teraflow endpoints. So for onboarding the topology, you create a descriptor like this one. You define first a context that is kind of a container of topologies. We name this as admin, and then we define a new topology inside the admin context, and this topology will be named as admin again. The next step for onboarding the devices will be to create the data centers or onboard the data centers. This is the generic receipt for onboarding a device. You see that you need to specify the device identifier, the device tape. In this case, it will be an emulated data center. It's emulated because we are not managing this. It's just a placeholder that TerraFlow needs. At least it needs to know that it is present. So we create it as an emulated element, and for that we use the undefined device driver. Then we provide some configuration details. These ones are just placeholders that we populate. This is ignored for the emulated driver. The thing that is important is for emulated devices to provide the endpoints. That means at the end the ports that TerraFlow should use in order, for instance, to compute paths and so on. So here we define the endpoints. In the case of the routers, you see, we define here this is router 1. We specify that this is a packet router. You see, it's not emulated. Now it's a real packet router, so we will be connecting to the actual device. For this reason, we need to provide the management IP address, port, and also the credentials as driver settings. And we will use the GNMI OpenConfig driver in that case. For defining the links, it's very easy. You just need to follow this receipt for each of the links, and you define a name. Usually we define router/interface double equal to represent that this is a link, and then router/interface again on the other side. And then you list the endpoint identifiers, providing the device and the endpoint UUID. With this thing, we will be ready for the topology. Now I will go briefly to the descriptors for the IETF layer 3 VPN creation. In this case, we are using the standardized IETF layer 3 VPN service delivery data model. This is RFC 8299. So in case you want further details, you have the link here. You can go there and you will find the complete specification, including some examples, some use cases, and so on. So I invite you to visit this. And also, you can find here in these links the detail of the specific message that we will use in this demonstration. I will elaborate a bit more on that. So when we expand this example, the file that I was pointing, you will see this data model. This is a JSON file. You need to specify first the VPN identifier. In this case, we will use IETF layer 3 VPN service. And inside this VPN, you need to provide which are the sites that you want to connect. In this case, we will connect the site for the data center 1 and the site for data center 2. We'll configure that this is provider managed. That means that the topology, the details of the connection internal to the network are managed by the provider, just following the needs that the customer specifies. You will see in a moment. We specify the location of the site. This is on data center 1, and also the device that serves as endpoint for us. This is the data center 1. Then we need to specify for each of the sites which is the site network access. We will go into details for this now. In the site network access, what we define is the specific endpoint of the device that serves as of VPN endpoint. Then we relate with this site network access to this service, the appropriate service. Be aware that we might have multiple services and we can manage multiple VPNs in parallel if needed. So it's convenient that we provide the pointers for this, and that's the role of this field. And then we have to provide also the details in terms of the addressing. In this case, we are using IP addressing, IP version 4 in particular. And for the sake of facilitating things, we will be using static addressing. Okay. Here we need to provide the details. You see, for instance, that the customer-facing address, in this case, the address of the clients or the data centers, in this case, will be 192.168.1.10 for the site 1. This is a /24. And then for the gateway, we are using the .1 address. Okay. We go now to the service details. In these service details, we can provide other parameters that are of interest, like the maximum transfer unit value, the capacity that we want to provide, We can also specify things that like the maximum latency, the guaranteed bandwidth percentage, and so on and so forth. At the end, the QoS profile. Okay. Then we need to specify the same for the second site, but in this case, well, I kept it. The main difference here is that we change 1 by 2 here, and that's it. Next point will be to run this command, and with this curl command, what we will achieve is that we will upload into the TerraFlow the descriptor that I was explaining, and after a few seconds, we should get our VPN created. Okay, layer 3 VPN created. We go now to the demonstration. So in this case, this is the descriptor for the container lab. You will see that I'm running a bit fast here because I was explaining the descriptors before. So we define the different values for the descriptor. This is the details on how is TerraFlow configured. You see that we are enabling also the monitoring component besides the generic ones. And here is a pre-deployment of the TerraFlow. We did it in a recorded way because this might take a while. If you are deploying TerraFlow for the first time, this is normal that usually it needs to download the dependencies, install things, prepare the components. Then when everything is done, it will deploy the different components, wait for them to be ready, and then in this case that we are configuring the monitoring, it will configure the dashboards. Then it performs some cleanup at the end, and finally we get the summary reporting that all the different components are properly deployed and running. We included also a small piece of code to test that the connection to the message broker is ready for the monitoring. And here we see that the deployment of the container lab also is completed and all the devices are running. At this point, we choose the TFS topology descriptor, the one that is this one I was explaining before, where we define the emulated data centers and also the packet routers in this case, and also the links. So we collected all these descriptors that I was explaining before in a single file in order to facilitate things. These are the links. Now we onboard the device by pressing the submit button. And after a few seconds, now TerraFlow is connecting to the devices. All the devices were added, also the links. We choose the topology. And you see here that now the topology that we were depicting in the previous slide is up and running. In the devices tab, you can see the details. All the devices are enabled. For the data centers, you saw that they are emulated. Now we go to the terminal, and what we will do is to check and connect to the data center 1, because it's the one that we will be using for testing the connectivity. We will confirm now that there is no connection towards the second data center. You see that ping to the second site is not responding. In parallel, given that we want to monitor that everything is running properly, we open the Grafana dashboard that is customized automatically by TerraFlow deployment with some plots for monitoring the network performance. You see that now everything. The next point will be to onboard this IETF layer 3 VPN descriptor, the service, the one that I was presenting to you before with the details on the IP addressing. Okay, just showcasing you the details. You have all the commands in case you want to run this. So in the Hackfest folder, you see that there is still no connectivity. We open a new terminal. Now we configure. We will run the command. We go to the folder where we have the descriptor, and we copy this command. We will execute this in the terminal, and in a couple of seconds, we should see that the service is created. Okay, if we get an empty reply, it means that everything went fine. You see that after this reply, we started to have some additional traffic. In the service, you can see that the new service was created. You can check the details that we are specifying, the set of IP addresses, and so on. And also the path along the network topology. Now we go back here. You see that we are running a ping, so the expected traffic shape should be around 100 bytes per second with 1 packet per second. And you see that now we have connectivity. Okay, and last step will be that whenever we delete the service, for sure, we confirm that the traffic should go down to 0 because we are breaking the layer 3 VPN. So here in the traffic panel, you see that now the traffic is going down. And yeah. And in a minute, you will see that again in the ping, the connectivity is for the ping is lost. You see that now ping is interrupted, so effectively the layer 3 VPN is lost, and now we get the destination host unreachable. So with this, we conclude this part of the demonstration. We hope you like it. It's a kind of simple demonstration, but showcases quite a number of integrated features in TerraFlow. In case you want to learn more, for sure, you have here all the pointers to the different web pages, the news, the relevant email addresses in case you want to contact TFS support, TFS information. We are very active in the Slack workspace. So in case you are interested in TerraFlow, not only for development, also in case you just want to play a bit with TerraFlow, feel free to join and raise your questions there. And for sure, if you are playing with TerraFlow, you are attending events and you like what you see, or you are performing some demonstration, whatever, we will be happy to see your pointers in the social media, and you can also synchronize with us to see what's hot in TerraFlow. As I said, if you enjoy the ETSI TerraFlow SDN experience, we invite you to join us. It's the participation is open to ETSI members, non-members, individual contributors and users, and it's free of charge for medium and small enterprises, universities, public research institutions, user and trade associations, and individuals. So if you have the interest and you want to join, in case you have any doubt or question, feel free to contact us. And for sure, stay tuned with the social media, especially also you can check the different videos for the demonstrations that we carry on in our YouTube channel. So feel free to connect and to follow us. And that will be all on my side. And I think now it's the turn for the question and answer, if there is any.
Yes, so thank you. Thank you very much to both of you. So we do have a couple of questions which we can address. And by the way, no stress, this presentation will be made available online in PDF after, and I will put the good links that you presented for the audience. So first question, do you offer a commercial license with support maintenance, private training sessions, etc.?
So shall I take this question, Lluis? Do you mind?
Please.
Okay. Now with the hat of TerraFlow Leadership Group chair, I must say that I'm not aware of any company or member or participant of TerraFlow SDN offering commercial licenses of this. You know, this is open source. So in any people might might use it and offer a commercial license with support, maintenance, and so on. We are fostering this from the leadership group. We would like to see some startups evolving to this direction. We have not yet seen, but it's true that if you need maintenance, you are looking for some special features with some private training sessions, just talk to the leadership group, and for sure we can find a solution for your needs. Meanwhile, there is not a specific company fostering this. Of course, there are a lot of companies that are contributing to TerraFlow SDN, and also CETC, also as a research center, that we have a lot of expertise, and maybe we can help with your needs. I hope this is elegant enough for all the community, because of course right now I'm talking also with my CETC hat on, not only the leadership group. So I think that's enough.
Okay, thank you, Ricard. Another question. What are the most significant innovations in TerraFlow SDN Release 4 compared to previous versions, and how do they address current network automation challenges?
So that's a very interesting question. Thank you, the person who asked that. I think that basically that's why we are saying that we are not doing an SDN controller. We want TerraFlow SDN to be positioned as the network automation framework, because there are many things that that you need for network automation that SDN controllers don't do. They typically provide you the programmability of the network elements, but the visibility, how you manage them, how you inventory them, how you obtain data and you process data from them. All these typical things are not available in SDN controllers. So that's the reason that why we are positioning ourselves there. For the main features, you have seen that there is a lot of new features in Release 4, being the most relevant, the QKD controller, the new monitoring and telemetry architecture, and many other that are available in the slide deck. And I hope that also the features that we have presented for Release 5 are of interest of you. I have seen a question in the chat regarding OpenFlow SDN plans, and maybe Lluis, you would like to comment. I have commented it. I have answered it in the chat box, but maybe you want to comment on our plans for if we will offer OpenFlow support for TerraFlow SDN.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm happy to say that this is an ongoing activity. It's already kickstarted. We have some people that is actively working in providing support, not directly implementing the OpenFlow protocol, because there are a number of SDN controllers that already implement this, and we think it's not needed to reinvent the wheel. What we are following, the approach that we are following is using one of the existing SDN controllers, well known in the community. It's the Ryu SDN controller, because it's simple enough, it's open source, it's quite fully featured, it's very, very extensible, and it brings what we need in order to interface in TerraFlow with Ryu. And well, what I can say is that last week I already saw a demonstration for onboarding automatically in TerraFlow OpenFlow devices that are managed by Ryu controller, and the current activity now is computing the path along an OpenFlow domain and configuring defining the appropriate flows that needs to be configured in each of the intermediate devices in order to provide the end-to-end connectivity towards the OpenFlow domain.
I think that's good enough. It's a nice teaser for what's happening.
Okay, couple of more questions for you. How does TerraFlow SDN integrate with existing tools like the ETSI open source manual or OpenSlice? And what are the key benefits of this integration for network slicing and management?
That's very, very interesting. I will talk about the benefits, and maybe you can talk more on the technical discussion, Lluis.
Yes.
So for us, it's important not to see the difference of our development groups inside ETSI as silos. We like to be related and to have joint efforts in order to be part of a solution. You have seen that we have already aligned with open source Mano, open slice, but also we are looking forward to align with OpenCapif. In fact, we are have started to discuss where it makes sense. Of course, it will be in our northbound to incorporate OpenCapif exposure capability exposure functions of Teraflow SDN, but also this is important because it helps us to offer network slicing in all its terms. Not only typically we consider network slicing a service for multi-tenants, but also we have network devices. We have real slicing capabilities at layer 2, at layer 3, even at layer 0. So we want to offer also this kind of level of network slicing at those levels, and integrating the service slicers and the service orchestrators like open source Mano, or the operation supports and system like OpenSlice brings us to this view. Maybe Lluis, you can describe more the technical details of the integrations that we have done.
Yes, for the integrations, mainly what I will highlight is mainly the data models that and the interfaces that we use to integrate between them. In the case of open source Mano, we are going for IETF layer 2 VPN. This is already supported. We have in mind also performing some integration for layer 3 VPN, so that way we cover the full spectrum. And in the case of OpenSlice, right now we are using again the layer 2 VPN, sorry, layer 3 VPN, and the target is to move also for IETF slice data model, because then we provide a full set of functionality for transport network slices. The good point and of these integrations also is that the different SDGs we are collaborating and we are in close contact in order to provide and to stabilize this integration as much as possible, because sometimes what happens between different SDG projects or open source projects is that this interconnection at some point might be lost due to the you just implement this and then you forget. What we are trying to do is also to deploy an integrated testbed where these integrations are periodically tested with each and every new release of the SDGs. This is for sure ongoing work, but just for you to know that we have the motivation of providing this integration and keeping this integration also for the future.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a couple of questions left. Can you elaborate on the role of the DLT gateway in release 4?
Do you like Lluis to take it? I think that you have already integrated this, so you might comment.
Yes, yes. The idea is that whenever you have a scenario where imagine that you have a number of different network operators managing different domains, and for some reason they need to integrate different SDN controllers, each of them responsible for a specific domain. Um, the good point of the DLT is that enables to for Teraflow to provide a connector towards blockchain in order that all the different instances of the SDN controller can exchange data through that specific blockchain. Whenever you change the blockchain, the thing that you need to change only is this connector. The rest of the logic in the Teraflow is kept as it is. And this is good because then it provides an interface and facilitates different. It provides the ability to implement support for new blockchains easily. So that will be at a glance. For sure, if you have additional questions, we are in Slack. You can always ask if you want additional details.
Okay, thank you. Now something about machine learning and AI. How is machine learning utilized in Teraflow SDN? And what are the future plans for AI integration to release 5?
Okay, that's a very forward-looking question. You know that we are starting to take a look at AI for networks. We want Teraflow to be the controller for networks for AI, but also we want to have AI helping us into designing, planning, and improving our networks. So we will see in release 5, I have already talked a little bit about it, the capabilities of generative AI for understanding natural language in the IBN part. So we will have something on top of Teraflow, one component that will be able to understand natural language and to process intents. That's something that we are looking forward. But also we have, I think that I don't know if it's a feature from release 3 or release 4. We had also the forecaster. We had a method for analyzing the different traffic patterns that were on the network and to adapt to it. So in order to be able to schedule new bandwidth and so on. So it was a mechanism that that it used not generative AI, but it used machine learning algorithms. We will see more machine learning algorithms in the future for sure. That's these are two parts where it's very easy to have the different AI methods contributing to Teraflow SDN.
And if I may, there is a third, which is in the new analytics component that is part of the new end-to-end monitoring analytics automation loop. It is envisioned that this component will provide not only kind of classical threshold crossing capabilities, but also capacity to analyze things using new AI ML methods. This is for sure work in progress, but it's in the roadmap.
Okay, challenge, 30 seconds. Could you provide, that's the last one, could you provide examples of real-world use cases where Teraflow SDN has been successfully implemented? You have 30 seconds.
I don't want to close this session before saying bye to the audience. So I recommend that you take a look at our website. We have there plenty of the demonstrations that we have done and the real live demos that are available, many videos. So please browse it. And I would like to thank you all for the attendance, and let's keep in touch.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you both for the work done for this presentation. Thank you, the audience. And so as promised, the presentation will be available in PDF and the good links that work well to present what to expand on what you presented. This was the last webinar of 2024. We see people next year. Have a good end of the year. And thank you again. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.